Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is EmilyHanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. And I'm here today to talk about all the ways that I fucking love pastel eyeshadow. And also, I don't need the Natasha Denona Pastel palette. And you might not either. Now, I know myself, and I know that there's a possibility that I might still end up with that palette down the road in the future. I might. But I wanted to talk about what that palette inspired for me and the way it sparked this huge makeup inspiration beyond just that palette. I filmed this video last week, and then I didn't realize at the time how much this inspiration, like how strong it was for me. So after a couple of days, or after really a day or two of sitting on that footage, I was like, I really should refilm it because it feels bigger than just the palette. Now, if you would like to hear some dramatic opinions about pastel makeup, and you like colorful makeup, bitches with lots of opinions, or just cute fab babes, I hope you will subscribe. Keep on watching. I have a Patreon and YouTube membership that are in the description box, easy to click on and support me in other ways, financial ways that are greatly appreciated. But also, subscriptions are great, fantastic. Okay, let's get into it. Natasha Denona released a palette with my name all over it. Not only is it a MIDI palette, not only does that mean it's a $65 palette, not only is it all colorful, not only is the packaging cute to me, not only does it seem like texturally interesting, did I have a point with it? Anyway, basically all of those things should scream Emily. And they sure as hell did when I first saw it. But here's the thing. I first saw this palette at least a month, maybe 2 months. I feel like it was 2 months before it actually launched, because somebody found it in a Sephora. It got leaked, big air quotes, onto Reddit. Thus why I'm talking about it, as is many things in life stems from Reddit. So I saw this months ago, and I was thinking about it. I was wanting it. I was so into it. I was like, okay, this is the one. This is the one. I currently own the gold palette, and that's the only eyeshadow that I own from Natasha Denona. And then because I sat on it, and because we talked about it, and because by we, I mean the different beauty communities that I'm a part of, and then more information started coming out about formulas, about the cream to powder formula being the majority of what's used for the brighter shades, and a lot of people who are very knowledgeable about eyeshadow sharing their experiences with the cream to powder formula, making me more nervous and less excited about it. I just felt like I have so many formulas of single eyeshadows that I fucking love. I have pastels out the wazoo. I also have iridescent shadows out the wazoo. And iridescent shadows can be your key secret power player for pastel looks, spoiler alert. And so I was like, why am I not just playing my pastel makeup, playing my pastel eyeshadows? And I didn't even want to dupe the palette. I didn't, want to dupe the vibes. I've done lots of dupe the vibes on camera and off camera. They can greatly help either tell me I don't actually really want that product and I'm totally happy and over the moon with what I have. And sometimes it actually can help me reaffirm the makeup goblin inside me and say, no, I do want that thing that I duped, which I will try to link playlists and things in this video in the cards in case you are somebody that is interested in those kinds of videos. But I didn't even just want to dupe the vibes. I didn't want to just copy it because as soon as I started really looking at the colors, I realized that's those aren't all my vibe. Like, I actually don't reach for turquoise minty shades as much, and I felt like a fourth of the palette was that area. So anyway, I initially created an 18 pan palette. I built it out, I love it. It's singles. From the mattes are from Lethal Cosmetics and Menagerie. The shimmers are from a mix of Terra Moons, Davina, Shine by XD. It was a bunch of round pan shimmers that I either knew I loved or I wanted to get more use out of them. And I built it and I started playing in it, and I didn't realize just how inspired it made me. Like, when I filmed my video last week, I was like talking about it and super into it, and I had already done a couple of the looks that I'm showing you today. But then I kept pushing further and further and further and further, and I was like, I have never, okay, not never, but like currently I cannot remember a time where I am very, 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 very inspired by makeup right now, by my makeup, by the makeup that I own and have in my hands. And I cannot remember a time where I felt this inspired. And I fucking love makeup. I love all the creative processes of it. I love talking texture and formulas and opacity and color theory. I love all of it. Weird noises. They were on purpose. Enjoy. And I just kept doing these looks on days. There were so many days where I was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just working. I just need to focus on work. I'm not filming. Makeup is not really an important thing. I'm not going to worry about it. And then like by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I was like, but I really want to put on some makeup. And I kept doing it. And I not only did like, I finally feel, so aside from the pastel shadows that I've gotten to use and play with and love, this whole inspiration has gotten me so much more in love and comfortable with water activated liners. I have been using the ever loving hell out of this. This is the Neon Nights water activated liner from Mira Beauty from their Holy Grail collection. They also have a pastel one that has white and a black center color, but I just have this one. I have been mixing colors. I have been figuring out, I mean, I still don't know, I still don't feel like I know the perfect consistencies, but it's made me so much more comfortable. It's made me embrace the reality that my graphic liner is not gonna be the same on each eye. It's gonna look imperfect, it's gonna look different, and that's cool, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. I mean, sometimes I do give a fuck in the moment and I fret over it, but in the reality, I have like lightened up. It's made me so happy to have my shaved brows. I have all this eye space, and I've just been having so much fun. And yes, some of that stems from like euphoria trends and the graphic liner trends that have been all over makeup for a while. And some of it stems from the pastel inspiration from Pat McGrath, even from Natasha Denona, even from Pat McGrath, from other makeup artists and creators. But it's the fact that I was able to take all these inspirations and turn it into something that feels uniquely me. Like, that's so fucking inspiring and exciting to me. And that's why it's like, I just wanted to talk about it in the scope of you never know what you already have in your collection that can just blow your mind and spark all of this creativity. And I'm not a not shopping channel. I'm not a low buy channel. I'm not a minimalism channel. I like shopping. I quite enjoy it. I like bringing in new makeup, but I don't like bringing in mediocre to bad makeup. And I personally could not guarantee that Natasha Denona Pastel palette was not mediocre as fuck. Now, on this uncooked chicken, it might have performed awesome. It might perform awesome. But I just felt this thing of like, I don't know if that's going to do for me what I'm thinking it's going to do for me. But this palette, this has. Now, this palette has gone through many transformations, and I'm really happy by that. So I'm not necessarily in love with the layout of this larger format, but it's basically the mattes are up here, shimmers are down here. I brought in Cleonas. I have, you know, again, I have Shine by SD. I have JD Glow in here. I have Davina, Looksy, Terra Moons. The mattes, I have the Terra Moon Neons that I have. I have Sydney Grace, one Sydney Grace, and then Lethal and Menagerie again. And not only do I feel like I love this palette is like a living creature. That sounds weird, I know. But, okay. This is my first time wearing like a full lip of the Kaleidos lip clay. And I like it, but I feel like it just... Oh, that's better, okay. That was definitely a little neurodivergent moment. It had gathered right at the center of my mouth and I could feel it every time I was talking. So now it's gone. Okay. I'm a mess. Now I have lip product all over my hands. Okay. Whew. So I cringed at calling this a living creature, but the reason why I say that is that I have a lot of single eyeshadows. I have more than just these that are pastel. And as I've been playing with it more, I have brought in different shades and taken out other shades. So it's also been like a bit of a testing ground. Or like today as I was building this look, I realized that like before, so I didn't have an orangey shimmer that like I wanted to pair with this look. Now I could have used Ray, which is what's on my cheeks and like above the eyeball, or I could have even used Gloaming, which would be beautiful on top of the orange, but texturally it was going to be a little bit more of an annoyance to put it in that big area of my eyeball. But then I was like, wait, I have other orange shimmers, and so I grabbed Lynx from Davina. And it's a formula I have not played with a bunch, and it really fits into the pastel world. Like that's one of the things that I was learning is that was it the Star Chasers? Was that the collection that came out Black Friday of 2020? That was the last collection I picked up from Davina, and they're much more sheer than I thought they were going to be, but they're great with pastel eyeshadows. And I'm loving the makeup playtime. I'm loving the textures. I'm loving, like, first of all, it's helping me play with shadows that I haven't played a lot with. It's also helping me play with shadows that I love as well. And I'm just constantly inspired. And I have some of my absolute favorite shades in here, or I have cycled through some of my absolute favorites. It just feels like a palette that I can continue to just evolve and play with. Because, you know, I've talked about in the past how I don't like a lot of big palettes. And I don't always like working out of my bigger storage palettes. I have like two that are like 48 to 70 shades in them. I don't always like working out of those, but I have realized that this size, these are Tarte palettes, this like, usually it's about 30 pans. It's actually a nice size for me if I have curated it myself. That's the thing. I don't often like big palettes when I'm not the one curating them. But like this is just constantly in use. I'm pulling different shades and swapping them in and out, and I'm having fun and I'm feeling inspired, and it's kind of helping me cycle through all different colors that I haven't done, and I'm asking people for color combination inspiration, and I just feel really excited about it. And none of it's new. None of it is new. And so I wanted to just like have this moment to talk about this, because there is so often when you will see trends hit the space, hit the beauty space, hit the even like celebrity space, and you might feel compelled, or you might just feel like you should try out a trend. And a lot of times that comes with feeling pushed to buy something new to create it. And if you are a makeup lover already, and you do already play in kind of different makeups, just if you're a makeup nerd like me, you might already have things that can help you tap into a trend. And it can be even more inspiring than buying like the specific thing that you saw this specific makeup artist use on this celebrity. Now, like, for example, I did buy this because, I mean, I had bought some water activated liners in the past, and I realized pastel tones are actually not as useful for the kind of makeup I like to do as are brights. And so I did spend the money to pick up a product. But this product has now been paired with all different kinds of eyeshadows, all different kinds of looks, from very subtle looks, the one I did with the Viseart Violet Entendu palette months ago, to these bold as hell looks. And so it's like there's these moments in makeup life where you kind of have to like make a decision, or you might have to make a decision where you're like, is it that I want a new thing, or is it that I would like to try out new techniques or new styles? And they can definitely go hand in hand, but sometimes you don't, like sometimes the new thing, here's the thing that I have realized, that there are times when I will get a new thing because I'm inspired by that trend and that thing, not have a good experience with that thing, and then have some resentment and distaste for the trend as a whole. I feel like I had that with the water activated liners, because the pastel ones that I got were perfectly fine. They were nice, but I didn't like the format of the individual pots. And I also didn't like the way the liner worked for me and the looks that I was doing. And so for a long time after that, I was like, yeah, I just don't think graphic liners for me, whatever, it's fine. I don't have a lot of eye space anyway, it's fine. But all of a sudden, I have a slightly new take on a thing, and I also have a different feel for my face by shaving off my brows, and I'm looking at all these pastel looks that are like, you know, 1 or 2 mattes and some shimmer on top. That's also kind of very a euphoria thing. Maybe not pastels, but just in general. And I was like, wait, I could make this more me and more fun. And it kind of just happened on accident. And then I was like, I can never go back. Currently, I cannot think of a reason to grow my brows back. Might be an unpopular opinion, but it's how I feel for myself. So I just wanted to hop on and gush and talk about how trends and new palettes or new things on the market don't have to mean instantly bringing those things into your life to play in that zone. And I wanted to mention a palette. I don't have a ton of palettes in my collection, and I do have some that have more pastel tones, blah, 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 blah. But what I wanted to say, also, if you're seeing all these looks and you're seeing sparkle and shine and you're like loving the way it looks, the other thing I would say is start looking in your collection. You might have single, let's say, duochrome or iridescent shadows that you love. You also might have some colorful palettes that you love. Not only does this palette in particular have pastels that you might be looking for, these 2 center rows, but a lot of pastel looks can be achieved by putting iridescent eyeshadows over more colorful shadows. So I also wanted to mention this, not to be like, don't buy Natasha, buy Blend Bunny, although, yes, that. And so you might already have some iridescent, you know, eyeshadows, some singles or some in palettes or whatever, some super shocks. I don't know. There's so many options out there. But you're like, yeah, but I don't have the pastel matte, so I can't be a part of the cool kids club. So like I need to buy something. You might have colorful mattes that could totally do the trick. Putting iridescent shadows over colorful shadows is fucking magic. I mean, maybe you don't read these as pastel. That's fair. I just wanted to show you. I was sitting here raving about it. These are Blend Bunny, the red and the green that are the brights, the middle row, not pastel or deep. And I have the same Looksy cookie dough over both of them. Here's what I'm saying though. You might have colorful mattes that already blend out beautifully that you could put down and blend out and then put iridescent shadows on top of it and be the pastel dream that you are craving. Or you might not have the pastel shadows that you want in your collection, but they might exist in better formulas already. So let me know. First of all, let me know if you've been enjoying this look series thing that I'm doing, because like I've been enjoying it. And so that's all that really matters, but compliments are nice. But let me know if you have any pointers on like pastel looks and how to achieve them, maybe without buying new things. Like, does this work for other people? Because I really do swear that like iridescence over bright shadows, it's a thing. It's a pastel look dream. But also, I just wanted to gush about the ability to play with what you have, find new inspiration, almost a new style, and feel like you are one of the cool kids without spending the kind of money that celebrities and brands and marketing folks want you to spend. And again, buy away. If you want to buy shit, buy it. But if it's a brand new thing for you, it might be worth trying to play in what you already have and see if it sparks the kind of joy that it has fucking lit a fire in me for. My grammar is trash. Anyway, light your fire, enjoy your makeup, play, have fun. I need to probably stop talking because I feel like I've lost any sense of God. But let me know if you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you enjoyed any of the looks you've seen today. I have been putting them on Instagram, putting up photos and reels and stuff as we go, but you're probably seeing some things that have yet to hit the internet otherwise, and I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any questions about any of the looks or any of the products or any of the things I talked about today, definitely leave them in the comments, and I will leave whatever details I can in the description box. But product specifics don't matter so much as energy, spirit, inspiration. I feel very, what's the word? Whatever. I feel, I need to stop filming. So I'm gonna do that. Thank you so much for spending every day with me. Thank you to my patrons, my YouTube members, for all of the support. You are the reason I am here, truly and honestly. And if you would like to join the Patreon or YouTube membership programs, they're linked in the description box. Don't forget to take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday, because you are worth it. Bye, friends. No, I'm not. I just was talking for like 10 minutes and not recording. Cool. Cool.